Hello, everybody, once again. Thank you for joining me. This is Drinks and a Movie, episode 2. Yes, haha. Today we'll be talking about The Hunger Games. Mockingjay Part 2. Yes, haha. I'm sorry for that, everybody. That was my terrible impression of Caesar Flickerman from the Hunger Games series. It was awful. I apologize for that, and for wasting about 20 seconds of your time. But I wanted to do it because I think it's fun. He's funny. He's an awesome character. Stanley Tucci plays him wonderfully. So today, talking about Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, and we'll be making the drink on fire. Yes, that's right. Haha, drink on fire for the girl on fire. Katniss Everdeen, she's on fire and this drink's on fire. So what this will be is the flaming Katniss Dr. Everdeen Pepper. It's a flaming Dr. Pepper. It's flaming Dr. Pepper, which is a shot of amaretto with a little bit of Bacardi 151 and half a glass of Budweiser, the king of beers, because what else would you use for this but Budweiser? Yes, Budweiser, the king of beers. All right, so here we go. We'll start with the drink first, because you should always start with the drink first. So we'll do the one shot, or mostly one shot of amaretto. Fill it up about 3/4 of the way, and I'll tell you why in a second. 1 second has elapsed. So the reason why is because we're adding 151, and my former bartender friend Matt, not former friend, he's a former bartender, he's not a bartender anymore. You kind of tilt it to the side and add it around the circle there. No, wash that off because I don't want to catch on fire. And then you light it. There we go. Look at that. It's a little dark in here right now because I want you to be able to see this. Look at this. Look at that awesome blue flame. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And, oh, hey, hang on. Awesome blue flame. And kids, if you try this at home, make sure that your parents aren't home because they won't be pissed. You know what I forgot to do is pour my Bud Light real quick. So I'm going to, Budweiser. Shame on you, it's not Bud Light. Let's pour this real quick before that flame goes out. Half a glass. Alright, here we go. To the Mockingjay Part 2. Holy shit. I'm really sorry about that. That's what happens when you drink half a beer all in one gulp. It's called the Flaming Dr. Pepper because it's supposed to taste like Dr. Pepper at the end. It doesn't. It just tastes like beer mixed with Bacardi and amaretto. Okay, so that's the drink. It was awesome. Try to make it for yourself. Now, let's get into the meat of this. Today we're talking about The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. I feel so terrible that I have to say Part 2 because this movie has gone the way of capitalism to make the most money, which is split a moderately sized book into 2 movies. First of all, that's always a bad idea. You know, Harry Potter did it with Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. Bad idea. Deathly Hallows was terribly boring and just pointless. Part 2 is pretty good. Twilight did it. Twilight did it with, whatever the last one was, Part 1 and Part 2. Those movies are terrible anyway, but sure, let's, stretch them out as much as possible. Terrible, terrible idea. Never ever do it, Hollywood. Please stop doing this, because there's no point to it. All you do is break up a coherent story into 2 separate parts that have a cliffhanger in the middle, which means one can't stand alone on itself. So, even if it's a great movie, you'll still need to see the previous one to really get what's going on, which you really shouldn't have to do in a movie. So, thus begins my review of The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Now, I actually really liked this movie. I thought it was very good. I didn't like the first one. I didn't like Part 1. I thought Part 1 was really boring, really it just meandered. There was some political intrigue, some good emotional stuff, but really it was just kind of boring and a setup to Part 2. Part two was very good. Part two was very exciting. It was a really good science fiction action movie. It had some great set pieces. The action was easy to follow. It was powerful. The problem is, though, again with the part one and part two, it starts kind of in the middle of something. It starts on the cliffhanger. It starts right in the hospital bed where the other one left off. So you do have to have the other one to understand this one. And terrible idea, terrible idea. So, what's great about Mockingjay Part 2? Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence is always great, and she's great in this one. She carries the movie really well. She has this emotional gravitas about her characters. The character's kind of quiet and sort of, angry to be in the situation from the beginning, which is fine because the situation sucks. But she's just so good at it, and easy to watch, and just carries the movie. Here's my biggest surprise. My biggest pleasant surprise is Josh Hutcherson, who's played PETA this entire time in all four movies, and he is amazing. He has this emotional arc that is astounding. He's almost the best part of the movie. I mean, I love Jennifer Lawrence, but he really kills it. So he's wonderful. And you have all the mainstays like Donald Sutherland as Snow, and Julianne Moore as Coin, and Philip Seymour Hoffman in one of his last performances, which is kind of sad, and they had to use a little CGI to put him in at the end, which isn't noticeable really, but it's kind of unavoidable because he died kind of 3/4 of the way through, which still angers me. Still tough to think about because he's such an amazing actor. He's there. Gives the chance. This movie gives the chance for the old Game of Thrones cast to do a little few movies while in their off time, with Gwendolyn Christie and Brienne Tarth from Game of Thrones has a bit in it, which is awesome. And Natalie Dormer. From Game of Thrones is really great in this. You also have Woody Harrelson and Liam Hemsworth. All of them put together a really great performance from the director Francis Lawrence, and written by at least adapted by Suzanne Collins, who wrote all three books. Full disclosure too, I read all the books, enjoyed all the books. I like the first two books more than the third book. I also like the first two movies more than these last two movies. I think, oh God, excuse me, sorry. Half a beer, again, kids, don't forget, gives you a lot of gas in the burping. I like the first two movies, I like the first two books better. Now, the last book had the problem that this movie had, was that it really meandered at the end. So this movie had the problem of climaxing, the action climax. The climax of the movie happened about a half hour before the actual end of the movie, and it ran into that almost Lord of the Rings, multiple endings thing, where the movie, the big action, the big thrust of the movie ends, and then there's a lot that goes on, and this isn't the fault of the movie. I think it's the fault of the book. The movie tried to stay really close to, what the book did. They stayed really true to the source material, which I really respect. I think that's great. I think when you try to stray too much, then it's not the source material anymore. It's something new, but you're just taking from the characters that source material created, which I don't think is ever a good idea. So that was a problem with the movie, but it's also a problem with the book. So, but I don't fault the movie, which is why I say I really liked the movie. I dug it. I thought it was good. There's some really great set pieces. There's some really great action. It's a great sci-fi action movie. There's a really great intense set of scenes when they're in the sewer, and it was very tense and very suspenseful. And they don't use a lot of jump scares, which I hate. They just build the tension. You hear stuff, but you don't really see it, and it was very kind of alien-like, but not. I don't think it steals from it. I thought all that was really good, and it leads itself into a really long action bit that was really intense and really kind of just kept going from thing to thing to thing. So I enjoyed that. So all in all, God, I say go see it, because generally it was a good movie. Problem is, you may not enjoy it or understand it unless you saw the first one. And the first one wasn't great, so rent the first one, borrow it from a huge Hunger Games fan that's bought it or something, whatever you want to do, and then go see this one, because this one was actually pretty good and worth watching. So let's try this one more time, see if I can do it. Oh, it did. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. So, to sum up, I like the Hunger Games. I thought it was good, and I'll give it a 3.5 drinks out of 5. Now, this is just my star system. If you missed the first episode, this is what that's based off of. It's my star system. 3.5 drinks out of 5. I liked it. You might enjoy it. Go see it. And hey, everybody, have a drink on me, and here's to you. Thank you so much. We'll do one more here, and here we go. Cheers. Bye-bye, everybody.